Kiki, did you see Sisters International latest video? It was aired last night. Apparently, there might be a connection between the British lady and the death of the lady who did her hair. Well, see, that's the story that people are trying to spin. But it just doesn't make sense to me. You know, um, they told us that last night, and it just doesn't make sense. Like when people like murderers, like serial unalivers, they have like they're called like MOs, like modus operandus. Like they do certain things. Humans are creatures of pattern, of habits. Okay, so if he's gonna unalive Shakina in such a terrible, harsh way, why and I don't understand how did he even unalive Mary? Because according to Mary's husband and the death certificate, Mary, did y'all forget? We got two death certificates that says she has a heart problem. She has a heart problem. Now all of a sudden they're saying she was unalived by the same little boy. How do you make the connection? It doesn't make sense. That doesn't even make sense. He said he stole from Shakina $1,000. He found Shakina's things on him. What did he get from Mary? Was Mary's house just because her door was unlocked? That's just what they do because Veronica's door was unlocked. And we said that. We said that a long time ago. This, in my opinion, Mary's passing was the same as Veronica's. It was the same as Audrey's. It was the same as Audrey, Veronica, and I don't know how Miss Beverly passed away. Okay, but all of them, it's Veronica, namely. The door was open. Her house was broken into. Mary's house, the door was open. So those two things are alike. Sakina wasn't even in her house. She was out at her property. So because somebody does work for you, that's like to me that's a leap. And Sisters International, I don't they just make up stuff. They just make up stuff. Cuz I'm not sure how you could even come up with this. I'm not even sure because the man said she passed away from a heart attack. I showed y'all the death certificate. So now they're saying the death certificate is wrong. Now they're saying how do they know she passed she was unalive? How did she have an autopsy? How do they know she was unalive? Do we have proof? But this whole connection, it's the and it's so convenient because guess what? The person who did it is in custody. So now it's all safe to come back to the Gambia. We have to think. That's the thing, people. You can't just believe what people. If somebody has a history of being a liar, like Sisters International, if somebody has a history of holding back information from you, like Sisters International, why would you think they're going to tell you the truth now? They haven't told us the truth this whole entire time. I've showed you receipt after receipt where these women, this woman and her little groups, hold on to information that could keep us safe. Hold on to information that can keep us safe. Now they want us to believe that all of a sudden, this little boy, unalived, both he's a serial unaliver, but he got two different ways he does it. And see, that's not even make sense either because how a person unalive you, that's what they do. They're not going to switch up like that. So that didn't even make sense. And then what happened to the death certificate? That didn't even make sense. So it's unfortunate that these people spin lies, but that's what they do. They want to make you think it's all over, it's all good, when that's not true. So if that's the case, excuse me, then why is Mary's shop open? Why don't we know where the keys to Mary's shop is? Does the Sierra Leonean little boy know where that he has that stuff too? So he knows who's running the shop. He knows who's answering her phone. I think we should start there. I think we should start with those women who are running her shop. And I think we should start with those women who are answering her phone, not with the Sierra Leonean little boy, because he had nothing to gain. He had nothing to gain because that's what we want. That's the whole thing. Ultimately, what did the person have to gain? What did they have to gain? What did he have to gain? What's the connection? They said there's a connection. What is oh, the marks on the neck? But we didn't even hear about no marks on the neck. When did the marks on the neck come up? We heard it was a heart attack. But her family told me, her family, she didn't even have heart condition. Now y'all want to throw something else in the mix. And I'm not talking about you, Truth Serum. I'm talking about these lying wenches in the Gambia. That's who I'm talking about. They just make up whatever lie to suit their game. Now they're trying to say, where's the what you said that they said there was a connection. Excuse me. There should be a connection. Use the puzzles, the pieces should fit together. These pieces don't fit together. This don't even make sense. Other than I want you to think everything is calm, cool, and collected in the Gambia and everybody's locked up and everybody else just passed away. See, because I got messages where they're saying, they're sending around telling people that these women all passed away from natural causes. Even Mary. Now they're saying something completely different. It just doesn't make sense to me. The only thing that makes sense to me why they would say something like that is because they want people to think that everything is under control over there and that you can freely come back over there and get, live your fantasy life that they're not even living. Because Sisters International, like I told you, she doesn't live in the Gambia. She visits the Gambia like I do. So how is she telling somebody? How does she know anything about what's going on over there? You think somebody's telling her? Who's telling her? Who's telling her? That's what I want to know. Who's telling her? Oh, her groups. Her group. I forgot. She knows what's going on because of her groups. Oh, I stand corrected. I forgot. Those women get together in that group and they spread all the gossip. They spread all the gossip. So she does know what's going on. But this connection, that's a lie. That's a whole lie. So I'll respond to that video as soon as I get time. But I'm gonna have to respond to that and shoot her down because even a profiler would know those are not connected. They would tell you if there was an FBI profiler looking at both of those cases, they would tell you these have nothing to do with each other. Mary's case was intimate. Someone had something to gain from this. They didn't want their hands to get dirty, so they gave her some special seasoning so they didn't have to get their hands dirty. And then we can all walk away and say she had heart disease, and then we can take over the shop and we can run the shop. Then we can drive her car, we can live in her house because we don't have nothing in the United States because we sold everything, everything to go to the Gambia. I don't This person don't even have a house to live in the United States. See, these are the facts of the situation. There's people who had there's people who had financial and material gain from Matu leaving here. And it was not the Sierra Leonean little boy. And this is so sad. This is so sad. This is so sad that they would just lie and not present y'all with because they don't know the facts because they didn't know Matu like that because she didn't deal with them like that. She didn't deal with them like that. She knew what was going on over there, so she kept to herself. So the person who got to her was real close to her. hmm I wonder if any of those ladies know who's running her shop, who has the keys to her shop. and who's running the shop and who's answering her phone. I think we should start there. I think we should make the connections there before we go out and try to that and come on, I can't even put it together in my mouth because it just sounds ridiculous. I saw Sisters International video last night. I thought she was presenting her. Uh, what you mean presenting her? Okay. So that's my opinion about that. And I'm going to have to respond to that because he spoke those words. Oh, I know. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad that he spoke those words and that's what happened to her? SEI Live had Kiki vibes. How did it have my vibes? What you mean? How did it have Kiki vibes? I don't trust Sisters International and anything that comes out of her mouth. No, honey, no, you can't. It seems that they're trying to, and they are trying to cover up a lot. And she needs to be, and she does. She needs to be investigated, in my opinion, because yes, these women come back to what her group, all of them except maybe one or two. One or two. She's the common denominator. She's the connection. She's the connection. So if you want to talk about connection, she's the connection. Did she say that? I study psychology and I can clearly see from the giddy up that this man is a psychopath. People have a short memory. He started out with even, yes, we know. We know. But what we're saying is we're saying that we're talking about just the information about Shakina because this was all we had. Okay, so I know how you guys feel about him. I know. Stop, Kiyomi. Mary's sister said differently on Sisters International site last night. Oh, Mary's sister was on there last night. Oh, really? Which sister? Because I talked to the sister and she told me something differently. But I told you there's a lot of I don't know what sister they talked to. That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know what sister they talked to. Do you know the sister's name they talked to last night? I don't trust her either. I'm trying to figure out why it's her who makes all the announcements. Do y'all know who what's the sister's name who was on there last night? Because like I said, I can tell y'all who the sister was I was talking to, and that's not what she told me. The lie was a little truth in it. The truth was a little lie in it. Right. Exactly. Uh, hello. Wait a minute. They're running a deceased woman. Yes. Didn't her sister tell y'all that last night? The sister didn't say nothing about that last night? See, I told y'all there's a lot of problems going on in that family because of this. So I don't know, what sister it is or whose sister it is. Okay, had a blood stain on her neck. For this reason, I didn't think Mary's. Well, they never said it was natural well, this is the first time I've ever heard about the blood stain. Okay, no one has ever, none of her people I've talked to have mentioned anything about a blood stain on the neck. Okay, now if there was a blood stain on the neck, why would the husband tell them she had a heart attack? Okay, because he's the one who filled out the death certificate. Remember, I showed y'all the death certificate, and he filled it out. So I'm confused as to this whole story. Don't even make sense. That's why I don't do mess. This sounds messy. Mary's sister wrote a comment on Sisters International site last night and confirmed the guy was Mary's gardener. But just because he's her gardener doesn't mean he did it. Keep an open mind. People are always, yeah, you're right, have many sides to a story. They do, but saying he's the gardener, but did she say what sister was it? But he could have been the gardener. I'm not saying he wasn't the gardener, okay, people? I'm not saying he wasn't the gardener. But what I'm saying is this. He could have been the gardener, but that doesn't mean he unalived her. You got to make it make sense. What did he have to gain? What did he have to gain? What did he have to gain? And why are we just now hearing about this? Because when I talked to them, when I did the show, nobody knew about any of these marks on the neck. The brother, no, I'm sorry, not the brother, the husband filled out the death certificate and he said she had a heart problem. So I'm confused. I'm totally confused. If it was the gardener, why did they wait to Shakina? Why did they wait for Shakina before they said that? I'm confused. None of this makes sense to me. Oh, that's okay. None of this makes sense to me. And just because he was a gardener doesn't mean that he did it. Her younger sister made a comment, not physical. Oh, see, that's totally different. And who was the younger sister? Did she tell you the name? Did she say her name? And that doesn't. She made a comment and said what he was the gardener. Exactly. Okay, tell me what she said because I got receipts to say differently. So please tell me what she said. We wouldn't be confused, right? If there weren't two death certificates and a thank you, thank you. If this was if this was no, we guess what, y'all? We wouldn't be confused. Guess what? If there were autopsies and tox screens done on U.S. citizens or any woman or any person who passes away unexpectedly in the Gambia. If we had that, we wouldn't be on here speculating about a gardener. He was the gardener and he worked for Shakina. So, oh, he did it. Did what? I thought y'all said Mary passed away naturally. Now y'all changing up the story? Oh, this is sick. This is so sick. They said the gardener hit her in the back of the neck with a metal plot. Well, well, how did the death certificate say? I'm so confused now. What? What? Are y'all serious? So, who said this? So that the dude said he did this? Explain it to me. Because the two death certificates we saw says, and I was talking to these people, Mary's family on the regular. On the regular. They never said anything like that. And they knew it wasn't natural. So if they knew anything about marks on the neck or this metal, whatever that is, why didn't they say anything about that when I was doing the show? And they wanted me to do that show. They asked me to do that show. Where do you think I got the information from? So I'm so confused. They said the gardener, did he say he did that? So why does the death certificate say something else? So she was, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. Uh, I don't know what name they were there when the gardener hit their hit. Were they there when the gardener hit her? There's more. They are hiding because this don't even make sense. This story don't even make sense. And then what he do after he hit her? He hit her, and it was just there should have been blood everywhere. There should have been a big pile of blood when they got there. It shouldn't have been no question about her being, having a heart attack. Make this make sense before y'all put this lie out here and make this woman that her mother worry and hurt even more. Make this make sense because that's all y'all doing is causing more pain on this family. That's all you're doing. You're evil. Anything can be put on a exactly in the Gambia for a price on one payoff. Okay, okay, but we know that. But the point is, if that's what happened, CJG, why wouldn't he just simply say that? I'm confused. If it, why wouldn't the husband simply say she had two marks on the neck? She was unalived by somebody, and I don't know what happened to her. That's not going to cause him anything. He wasn't there. So why? Why say something? Why lie? Because if somebody hits you right there on the back of the neck hard enough with a tool, there's a whole puddle of blood right there. A whole puddle. We didn't hear anything about that. So what was the so the husband agreed to explain it to me. It doesn't make sense. And they're known liars. How can you believe a liar said they're killing foreigners for money and their land is scary? So if that's the case, then what did he unalive Mary for? We found he had the belongings of Shekinah. Okay, did he have her belongings? Did he have money? What did he have? Where does this story even come from? Who sat and put this lie together? On the ground info versus over the air info can be conflicting. No, the truth versus lies can be conflicting. Because where do you think I get the information from, ma'am? Don't you? I mean, come on, think about it, CJG. I'm not there. I'm not there. Just like these receipts I have about Shakina, I'm not there. How did I get people send them to me, ma'am? These people are on the ground. Some of them are on the ground, some of them are here. But most of them are in Gambia. They may not live there 24 hours like some of the repets do. But just think, for me to know exactly what happened or have a general idea of what happened, don't you think somebody is telling me this? And don't you think these repats have to be either on the ground or connected to somebody on the ground? Y'all have to think. Y'all have to think. It's called the truth versus a lie. That's what it's called. The truth versus a lie. That's why I give you receipts for everything. I give you receipts for everything. We're not talking about a order that's wrong at McDonald's. We're talking about people's lives here. We're talking about her family. Her family is torn up, torn to pieces. And now y'all coming out with this other lie? Another lie? Are you kidding me? Mm. What's the motive? Or is he exactly? What's the motive? What is the motive? He did, according to what he said, he unalived Shakina for money and her property. But what about this woman? What about Mary? What about Matu? What did he unalive her for? Just to do it? Just to say he did it? Did they say that? Did they say that? This is so sad. This is so sad. I suggest everyone just listen to the video. All right, that's what we're gonna do right now. That's what we're gonna do right now. We sure are. All right, like I told y'all, this is fair use because people are going to the Gambia. I go to the Gambia also. I don't have no reason to lie about what's going on in the Gambia. I don't have any reason to stretch the truth. I make little to no money off of this YouTube channel. I truly do this to educate people. But these people in the Gambia, that's not them. That's not their situation. They do these things to make money. Y'all have to understand, time is hard in the Gambia. Times are hard in Africa, all over West Africa now. Times are extremely hard, and people are going to do whatever they got to do to make it. And if that means scamming me and you, then hey,
Welcome to
I
this
recognize.
international.
Let me know if y'all can't hear this lady. I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. I'm about to make it bigger so we can see it. Let me go over here. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. And again, this is fair use because I want to see what this lady. People need to know the truth about what's going on in Africa. Okay, not these fairy tales. So let's go.
Going to get right into it. We've been inundated with calls as usual, but they've really been a little bit different over the last few weeks or months. There's a lot been going on in Gambia, and you know as well as we do. Now, the first thing I'd like to talk about, we're going to talk about what's been going on in Gambia, what from on the ground. We are on the ground in the Gambia.
And see that like that means something. I don't understand what does on the ground mean. The truth is the truth, people. Don't you get that? The truth shouldn't matter whether you're on the ground, whether you're in London, whether you're in the United States. How does the truth change whether you're on the ground and whether you're not? Don't y'all see? It's all a ploy to get you, oh, believe me, I'm here. She goes like I go. But I'm on the ground, so my truth is more valuable than somebody else's truth. The truth is the truth. It shouldn't change.
And we're going to start off with two main issues that we're having on the ground. There seems to be a wall of on the ground in the Gambia. A lot of information that is being shared around about the Gambia and what is going on in the Gambia is being from outside of the Gambia. Now,
So listen to how ludicrous and how simplified her argument is, people. Because this information is coming from someone who doesn't live in Gambia 365 days a year. You cannot believe what that person is saying. How ludicrous is that? How ludicrous is that? Again, the truth is the truth. It shouldn't matter. That's why it should be credible and it should be reliable. Because if it's credible and it's reliable, it's not going to change. The truth should not change by the person who tells it. Because it's credible and it's reliable because it's the truth. Lies have to be on the ground.
people will criticize that and say, well, yes, it's because nobody hears about what's going on in the Gambia. Now, there does seem to be a wall of silence. Why is that? Two reasons that we can see as Sisters International. Number one, people are fearful to speak. The reason they are fearful to speak is they have seen those who have spoken out about things that are going on in the Gambia, and those people have been ridiculed, bullied, targeted, their families have been targeted, and they have basically, their lives have been trashed.
So basically, what you all do to me, because that's exactly what you and your cronies, I'm not going to say you do that to me, but you attempt to do to me. Because surely I don't trash anybody. I don't do that to anybody. I tell the truth. But you all tell lies. Even you, ma'am, made a whole video of lies about me. You all have tried to do that to me, to silence me from telling the truth about what's going on in the Gambia. You, ma'am, are the bully, you and your cronies in the Gambia. All of you have made videos about me, lying, insulting me, trying to talk about me, but none of you can say what she's saying, can prove that what I'm saying is not actual and factual. Not one of you can say that. Not one. So you mean what you do to me? What you do to anybody who stands up to you all? Yeah, that's what you do, ma'am. Tell the truth.
or who they are have been trashed on YouTube, even in terms of organization, even us as Sisters International have been trashed for speaking out. Speaking about us from Sisters International, I remember one time we announced one of our sisters who passed, and we got called so many different names and saying that we're spreading doom and gloom and we're the doom and gloom spreaders from the Gambia. So another time we didn't announce a passing. We know what's going on in the Gambia. Families know what's going on in the Gambia, but we didn't announce it on social media and YouTube. Then we got blamed for not sharing information, not saying somebody's died, only sharing it within our groups. Now, this is why.
Now, I have proven to you all time and time again, just like with Shakina's receipts, where do they come from? Their group. When this woman came on my channel, she came on my live. How many times have I been on their lives? If I'm such a bully, if people are bullying them, I don't know what other YouTube content creators do, but I know this is my field and this is what I talk about. Okay. So how many times have y'all seen me on their channels? I commented on this chick channel twice on her community page when she was talking about me. And when I found out about Shakina, I asked her to email me because I wanted to know from her whether it was true or not. But she wasn't woman enough to email me. No. But she can come on my channel and call herself telling everybody off and doing everything under the sun, her and her dusty friends. But I'm the bully. They're scared to come out when they've all ganged up on me, when they've all constantly tell lies about me. Oh,
We
okay.
use a phrase, we're damned if we do, and we're damned if we
But
don't.
they're the victim.
So,
Okay.
but we do recognize there is a wall of silence. We talk to people on the ground and they say, we're scared to say anything. We're scared to come out and make a statement. We're scared to give our opinion because when we're in this group or that group or another group, not just Sisters International groups, but other groups, the information is stolen from those groups and put on YouTube and put on social media.
So now you know she's talking about me. Okay, because y'all know I'm known for that. People in the groups think you're dirty. They think you're dirty. They think everybody in your group is dirty. They think you guys are doing dirty business. So they are scared to say something because they know you guys will blackball them like you did Shakina. So once you blackball them, they have nobody to turn to. That's why they tell me because they're too scared to say anything to any of you wannabe witches.
So a lot of those people have gone quiet and they're saying they're no longer going to share information. They're even scared of who to talk to, unless it's their bona fide friends. They're scared of speaking out because information is going to end up on YouTube and used for the detriment. So that's one of the reasons.
So us knowing the truth about what's going on in Gambia, y'all, that's the detriment. Listen to this woman. Listen to what this woman is saying, people. For us to know the truth about what's going on, that's a detriment.
Why people have shared with us, they've become silent. Another reason why there's a wall of silence is that there are different cultures of diasporans here, people from different parts of the world. And some people believe that, you know, they're from the old school, they say, although, you know, it's just part of life. It's not old school, but it's part of life. But they believe that information should not be shared in the big wide world or the world wide web. YouTube, www. Information shouldn't be shared, it should be kept. We should be conservative and information should be kept within the families and within those people that.
Then begging should be kept within the family. Then asking us for donations should be kept within the ground. Don't come on YouTube and ask us for anything, okay? If you feel like you want to keep all your information to yourself, then don't ask us. Don't tell us to come there. Don't ask us for money. Don't ask us for anything.
It involves, and within those people that are on the ground, information should not be widely shared outside of that
See?
environment. So people have said that to us. We put out a video. I remember we put out the video on Natty Locks, and we got told, take it down. Now, in that video, all we did
And you know who told them to take it down? Mary's daughter told them to take it down. She didn't tell you that, did she?
was announce Natty Locks, Mary dying. You know, that she died. We'd been asked to put it out because she had customers that were coming to her shop that day, the day after, the day after. And also people would be calling and wondering why the shop is closed and what's going on. So we put out that she'd passed. And we also, within that video, because you can see that video now, but within that video, we talked about sisters being safe. We talked about sisters coming together, and you know, we've talked on that video and others about sisters creating their own tribe of people that they can trust so that they can be safe and remain safe. And within that video, we said that Natty Locks was found on her own at home, and she, you know, she was found deceased in bed, and her husband was in the US of A. The family members and the others.
So this is what she said now. Now they're saying something completely different. So he hit her in the head and then put her in the bed. Is that what happened? So they just told us a lie. Now we're supposed to believe they're telling us the truth.
On the ground in Gambia, some on the ground in Gambia got upset with us and told us, take that video down now, it's disrespectful, etc. There was no
because they have family and friends on the ground in there. Okay.
disrespect in that video. The comments that we had, other than those that told us to take it down, were, you know, condolences, rest in peace, Mary, and talking about how lovely a woman Mary was. So, out of courtesy to the family, we took it down. Others didn't take it down, and others ripped Mary and her family apart, and they
I don't know
didn't
who
take
they.
their videos down.
Okay, I don't know who she talking about, but because I'm the only person who made a. See, this is another lie. Ripped Mary and her family apart. That's a lie. We ripped the husband apart. We sure did, but that was it. We didn't rip Mary and her family apart. You see what I mean? How this woman lied. Nobody else made a video about Mary except for me, so she's talking about me. So that's a complete lie.
But out of courtesy to the family, we took our video down. But because the video was talking, you know, the only issue that we felt they might have had with us is we said Mary was found on her own and her husband was in the US. It's the truth. We try and report the truth. As it's given to us, we report that. We talk about that. Mary was on her own. Her husband wasn't there with us, and it's not our responsibility if her husband feels guilty or whatever why he wasn't there, but he wasn't there. And that is why we're saying we're not going to say that she was at home with somebody or she was at home with loads of people at home with her husband when she wasn't. You know, she was found at home alone, and we knew that her husband was in the US. And the reason we report these stories and these incidents is for people to share information. I remember we started the YouTube channel and we were encouraged by Andrea Martin, rest in peace, to do the YouTube channel. And she showed me how to start. Even though I'd done YouTube before, I didn't really understand how to do it and how to put it out there really in terms of Sisters International. So she brought me one step further to show me how it is used by her and others in the US. So, you know, it gave me a big insight. And the reason I started, and we agree it. So that's why sometimes I'm going to be saying we. Now, I also have to say that, I mean, Sisters International is a network in the Gambia. There are many networks in the Gambia. There are other groups that we're aware of and some we're not aware of. And I remember having a conversation with Shakina last year, and she said to me, V, I don't know how you manage Sisters International. It's such a big group. You know, there are hundreds of people in the building group. There are hundreds in the, you know, agricultural group, in the business buy and sell group. And she said to me, I started doing something very similar, but she said it's a nightmare to manage. And she said, I have my small group. She says, we meet together, we have coffee together, we go out and have a spa together, we have dinner together, we meet as couples, and, you know, we have nights in where one of the guys might, you know, play some music, live music, and read poetry. And she said, I've got my small circle. And she said, I keep it small. And she said, nobody can actually just come into the circle. We have to.
Well, that's not true. And we have receipts to say otherwise. Because the people in this group said she could go months without speaking to them. So I don't know what you're talking about, lady.
agree who comes in that circle. And she goes, this is how we deal with it in the Gambia. And, you know, I remember when she said that to me and I thought about it and I thought, well, that is the way to go in a sense. I mean, our groups, we don't meet up, you know, as big groups of hundreds of people, but the networking is there. The networking is there. It is a nightmare. And that is why in our videos, if you're living in the Gambia on the ground, it is about creating what Shakina had said, that network of people, that small group. I think she said there was about 6 or 7 in that group. So it is
That's
about
not
creating
true
your
either.
tribe of people. Just
That's not true either. This group Shakina has is we're going to talk about that next.
because we are skin folk doesn't mean say we're all kinfolk. Sometimes we're
But as you see, I haven't seen one receipt yet. Have y'all? Have y'all seen one receipt? So we just supposed to believe what these words coming out of her mouth?
from different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, and you have to find the people you gel with. And that's what it's all about. It's about creating, and that's what we talk about in a lot of our videos before, creating that network, smaller network. Sisters International is a bigger network where you can see how people talk within the WhatsApp groups and the conversations and the discussions. And then you can say, well, I like what Janet is saying, and I like what Sarah's saying, and I'm going to contact Sarah direct. And you give Sarah a call. You say, Sarah, I like what you were saying in that group. You know, where you said you live in Bigelow. Can we meet up for a coffee? What is wrong with that? That is what you call a network. And this network is for women to support each other and to give each other support. They're
See,
not all single women.
that's what this is about, people. Her selling this fake Sisters International. We know there's no sisterhood in the Gambia. We know that, and especially amongst the UK people, they already came on our channel and told us that none of them get along. That none of them get along. So now she wants to come here and tell y'all once again that there's some sister. That's what this is about, people. Promoting this sisterhood. So you all will continue to believe this lie.
Without men. It's not a man bashing or man hating. We need our guys. But this is supporting women. And we say to people, once you support a mother, you support the children. Once you support a woman, you support the husband, you support the brothers, you support the fathers and the mothers. Many of our sisters are.
But we've talked about this. Veronica was in the Gambia. She couldn't pay her rent. Why didn't they support her? She was a member of their group. Veronica was in the Gambia and she didn't even have $20. What, did she have $20, people? Or did she have less than $20? None of them gave her any money. So I'm confused, people. When they told me that Anja was allegedly homeless, had no place to go, this woman, Sisters International, they didn't give her a place to stay. Black Acres wouldn't even give her a place to stay. They made a whole video about it. Now, if it wasn't Anja, then correct me. But somebody was homeless over there and needed a place to stay, and nobody gave them a place to stay. Women have written me and told me they were in the Gambia and needed help and had nobody to help them. No one. Now you want us to believe that there's this sisterhood over there, but it wasn't there for the women who needed you in the past. But now all of a sudden it's here for the women in the future? Really? Really? Oh, okay.
Main carers for their parents. So we recognize as a women that once we give the women support, it doesn't mean we don't believe in the men. It means that we realize that the woman's strength is needed. Women need support. We don't get as much support in the world as the men do. And as black women, even less. So therefore, if we can support each other instead of bashing each other over their head, you know, if we can support each other, they say a black woman is another black woman's worst enemy. We need to stop that. And we need to learn to support each other as we go through this journey. Now, we've recognized that us coming back to Africa, coming back to the Gambia.
Now she thinks that about black women. I don't think that about black women. I don't think that at all about black women. I think when you have a black woman for a best friend, you got the best friend in the world. She gonna have your back no matter what. That's why I talk about black women. Because it's wrong what's being done to black women. So again, another lie.
Gambia. We've recognized we are all on the same journey and we do need those support systems. If I'm coming here and I need to ship, I will join the shipping group and figure how am I going to ship and ask all the questions in the shipping group.
She's letting you know she got a shipping group. You can come there. Oh, this Y'all should have told me this video was about promoting her business.
I don't know all the answers. I'm not even going to give all the answers. The network of women give each other the answers and give each other their own experiences. Once you ship, you say, right, I want to buy land and build. You join the building group and you put your questions out there. How much is sand? How much is cement? I live in.
Remember the building group? That was the group. I thought she didn't know them. The building group, remember? That was the group that had all the information about Anja when she was collected by the doctor. Remember? I thought they didn't know who was in the building group. So that was one of her groups, too. She lied about that also.
Where do I get this from? I live in Sanyang. What is the best carpenter? You put those questions in the building group and the guys will answer it. You want to start a business in Gambia, you join the business group and you say, well, I want to join a business. I want to start a business. How do I go about it? Who do I register with? What is the best business to do in the Gambia? Ask the business group, not me, not Janet. Ask the business group, because in the business group, women are there that are doing business. And men, because the business group is women and men. If I bring bagasse or things to the Gambia I want to buy or I want to sell, the business group is there. A lot of women, they buy a lot of their furniture, including myself, and a lot of their goods from the buy and sell group.
So basically, if you want to buy something, anything you want, we have a group for it. And I'm just using Shakina and Matu's name just to get you to come on here. But I'm really selling my business. I'm sorry, you people didn't pick up on that.
Where we buy and sell amongst each other, because some of the things that you want to buy in the Gambia, the quality is lacking. So therefore, if a sister's bought things from Canada, another sister's bought things from the US, another sister's bought things from Jamaica and the UK or Europe, we buy and sell amongst each other. Yeah. So if then you've got your house built and you've got your business going and you want to do some agriculture, you bought some more land and you want to farm, you join the agricultural group. That Shakina had done an audit, and I don't want to go into that, but a lot of us that are there don't know any of this. And as Sisters International, we don't know any of this. This is all new information. So even though I know a lot of people in the Gambia, we, mix with a lot of people in the Gambia. Sisters International was born after.
So how in the world is she telling people to come to the Gambia? And she knows nothing about Invest, Relocate Africa and what happened. She knows nothing about Shakina being the auditor for Invest, Relocate Africa. But you and your little 12,000 groups are telling everybody to come there, but you don't even know what happened there 3 years ago.
And from what we can see on the videos and things were messy and got very messy. And are still kind of, the aftermath seems to be there. But what we're about is support systems. That is all what we're about. Creating support systems, not making money, not doing this and doing that. But most of the information we give is free. If you want information about land buying or anything like that, go on our YouTube channel. Have a look at our YouTube videos. It's all free. Go on there. None of the videos are monetized. I think only the shorts are, because we don't have to take monetization off of those. But go and get that information. That's all we do. It's not a con. It's not there's nothing, mystical about it. It's there.
So I have a question. If all the information is on the YouTube channels, then why do we need the groups? Why do you have the secret groups, and why do you have those secret inner groups where all the information doesn't get out? Because I had a friend who was in the secret inner group, and I have a friend who's in the regular group, and they don't get the same information. They don't get the same information.
Because we share our information, and because our information is shared for free, we realize we do get a lot of backlash. People do say things about us. I remember Janet and I were even called saying that we're devil worshippers and that we're witches. Couldn't be further from the truth. Don't get me wrong.
She knows.
Gambia, West Africa, juju is real. In Jamaica, we call it obia.
She knows it's true, huh? She knows it's true. That's why she acting like that. You hear that fake little laugh because she can't believe y'all figured it out.
In other places, they call it voodoo. It is real. Janet and I are God-fearing people. Anybody that comes up to us and wants to talk about juju, we tell them, no, my God is real. My God is bigger than juju. My God is bigger than voodoo. My God is bigger than obia. We are not into that. Now, there are women and men who come to West Africa and they've studied these dark arts and they get involved in this dark culture. And what I'd say is, if you don't understand something, you should not get involved in it. If you're learning something and you come somewhere where people have been steeped
this is not about them.
Too much about people. I don't want to be around these people. But the reason I'm saying this is that because you hear something about somebody, we've said this in previous videos, because you hear something about somebody, it doesn't mean it's true. Go to that person and ask them. Say to that person, I've a county called Somerset. I think Gambia is probably the same size as Somerset in the UK. It's tiny. When you come to the Gambia, especially when we run Sisters International, we know a lot of people. There is one area, Senegambia, It's a bit like Montego Bay. Everyone knows everybody.
I'm sorry,
If
but
we
what
have
does this have to
the
do
YouTubers out there, we should all be for a common purpose.
about these
It should all be
ladies
about
passing
safety.
away?
And some of the YouTubers, I agree with the principle of information that is out there, but I do not agree with the way it's done. The damage that's being done.
Who is she to tell somebody she don't agree with what they do? This lets you know how controlling these people are. If you don't agree with what somebody does, what adult people do is they just don't go around that person. If I don't agree with what you do or how you present your information on YouTube, guess what? I just don't watch your YouTube channel. That's all I do. I don't watch your YouTube channel. I don't make videos about you. Everybody I've made a video about, that's because they made one about me first. Everybody. Everybody.
By the information, not the information you're sharing, but how the information is shared, the inaccuracy of some of the information, and the damage that
The inaccuracy of the information who says the lady who's been on here for 29 minutes and 10 seconds and has not given you one receipt. She's not giving you one receipt, but she has the nerve to say somebody else's information is inaccurate.
it is doing to families and also sisters on the ground that are now fearful of sharing if they need help, support, or if they want to tell us information. So I think we really do need to think carefully how we work, and I think we should all be, as sisters, working on a common purpose. The information of what happened with Natty Lotz. And as I said before, we cherish your comments and we cherish sharing of information. When Shakina was murdered, one of the comments that we had on our platform by some Caucasian people in the Gambia, I think they'd been in the Gambia, I don't know if they were still here, they said, you guys need to do your own investigations because sometimes the investigations are lacking. And you need to do your own investigations with a group of people who have an investigative mindset and then present your
like we do on Keke Loves Nigeria. That's exactly what we do, ma'am.
information to the police.
Oh, yeah, that's what we'll do when we're done. That's what we'll do when we're done. I'll type up a nice report that we put together and I'll submit it to the police department in the Gambia. Because that's exactly what we've been doing every day, all day for all these women. We do that, ma'am. You don't do that.
Because sometimes the way we think and the way we are taught in the West and putting information together and coming up with conclusions, having theories and coming up with conclusions is very different than what happens in West Africa. Now, one of the first things we did when, I'm going back and forth a little bit, but just to say, one of the first things we did when we saw that the call had gone out that Shakina was actually murdered, we started a letter writing campaign. Janet and I, Sisters International, we put out a letter.
Now, y'all know how long we've been doing. These people aren't even original. They just come to our channel and they watch what we do and they copy what we do. Now, how long have we been doing a letter writing campaign, people? How long have we been doing that on Keke Loves Nigeria? We even got a petition going around for autopsies and tox screens to be mandated in the Gambia. But this woman on here presenting this information like it's brand new when she knows she's sitting here right now watching everything that we do. Everything. But she going to come back and present it to you like it's new.
And we wrote to the British Embassy. We then shared that letter with groups and people, and we asked them to do the same. Use our letter as a template, write your own letter, and send it to the British Embassy.
Same.
So that Shakina's
Same thing we did. I'm glad we're influencing people, y'all.
murder can be investigated to the full. Shakina deserves this. As British citizens, we deserve this.
Look, as British citizens, we deserve it. How about everybody who's unalived, whether they're Gambian, whether they're American, whether they're British, whether they're Chinese, whether they're Indian? How about every human being deserves that, ma'am? How about that?
The proper investigation to the full. So that's the first thing we did, is this letter writing campaign. And then everything we heard and everything we saw, we put together and we were saying, okay, this has happened, we've heard this, people have commented that. There's been a lot of rubbish. The last thing I think we listened to is YouTube, because with Shakina's death, YouTube, there was a lot of false information, even false photographs. There was a lot of false information. Most of it, I would say, is false. And we're going to come back to some of that. So I'm going to go back to Natty Lotz now. So Natty Lotz, our source was with Natty Lotz on the Sunday. Natty Lotz was getting ready to leave the Gambia. Her family didn't want to be here, and she decided to leave, not to go back to the US. I think she was going to go back to another African country, a different African country where she had friends, and she felt that she would be able to be more accepted and do business and not have so much stress with the workforce, because she was in a very stressful business. And those who know the Gambia know it's very different in terms of work ethics. And that was her biggest issue, was the work ethics of the workforce. That worked for her and with her. So Natty Locks was getting ready to leave. And one of the things Natty Locks wanted to do was sell some land that she had. So she contacted one of our source, and she said, I want my land sold, and I want some, you guys to sell my land. So let me show you where it is, and then you can go to others so that they can actually put it out there. Sisters International or wherever, put it out there to say my land is for sale. So our source, a gentleman, Natty Locks came to him with another gentleman, and she said, this is my friend, we've known him for a long time, he knows where my land is. So they went to Natty Locks' land and had a look at the land, beautiful land that Natty Locks wanted to be sold before she left the Gambia. So they looked at the land, and then they came back to our source's compound. And our source, he said to Natty Locks, who is this boy? The boy's looking at him funny. He said, who is this? And she said, oh, he's fine. He's been around me for a long time. I've known him. He does bits and pieces within my home. That's fine. Right. So then the Monday, Natty Locks doesn't open on a Monday. Her salon is closed on a Monday. So the Sunday, she showed our source the land. The Monday, she didn't open. The Tuesday, Natty Locks didn't show up for work. Her workers called our source and said, Natty Locks has not turned up for work. And they said, okay, let me try and phone her. So they tried to phone her, couldn't get through. Our source went down to the shop, and Natty Locks still had not come. So they drove to the area that Natty Locks said she lived in and stopped at the local shop and explained the truck, the big red truck that she drives, and said, I'm looking for this American woman. She drives a big red truck. The guy at the shop said, she lives, I can take you to where she lives. They went to where Natty Locks lived, Mary. I call her Natty Locks because most people know her as Natty Locks. So they went to where Mary was living, and our source went to the gate, and the gate was unlocked. It wasn't open, it was unlocked. There is a difference, it was unlocked. So because the gate was unlocked, our source then ran around the back to check, to make sure it was secured at the back, which it was, and then they came back round and they both went in the house. When they got in the house, they looked around and called Natty Locks. They called Mary, and she didn't answer. They then went upstairs to check and found Mary laying on her bed, and she was deceased. Our source then left the house, phoned the husband, left the house, went to the police station, which was literally on the same road, and came back with the police.
So how does she get in the bed? They said the boy hit her in the head with a plot or whatever, and he put her in the bed? Because that's the same information we had, that the house was open and they found her in the bed. So I don't understand. She didn't show up for work. That's this is the same exact
And the
information.
husband was notified, and the husband then notified a friend that he had in the Gambia who came after. And the police were there and verified, the ambulance came, everybody verified the death of Natty Locks. And we're told that she was dead. She had 2 small like blood marks on her neck, and she was just laying there, half on the bed and half off, fully clothed, like she was going out or in.
Like she was getting in the bed. Like she was getting in the bed or getting out of the bed, and she had 2 little marks that were like blood. Like, what is that, people? What kind of game is this, people?
And I don't know if I'd said the house also was unlocked.
This is so sad.
Not open, but unlocked. So the gate was unlocked and the house was unlocked, and Mary was fully clothed. Now, from our own on-the-ground investigations, if I've gone home and somebody is with me, I'm not going to lock my gate and I'm not going to lock my house, because this person's come with me in the house, in the gate, and come with me in the house. I will lock the house when they've left. That's what we deduced. Now, Mary's husband did an autopsy, and they verified that she died of a heart attack. Okay? She was in bed, sat in bed, or laid in bed, and she died of a heart
attack. So I thought y'all said the boy was a serial unaliver.
Heart attack. So maybe she came in, went upstairs, sat on the bed and died of a heart attack. It still doesn't explain why you didn't lock your gate and why you didn't lock your door. So
that's not what happened. Because that is not what happened. The same thing happened to Veronica, happened to her, and you know it. So quit trying to play like it didn't, because that's exactly what happened to Veronica. Her gate was open. Her door was open. She was found on, I don't know if on the floor or on the bed. Same exact thing. So quit playing.
And we deduce. If somebody's with you, you're not going to lock your gate or your door. You're
Oh,
going
this
to
is
lock.
such a big lie, y'all. This makes me, I'm getting so mad. Oh, y'all, I gotta calm down. I'm getting mad. Because this is a lie. She's trying to say somebody came. Well, how did she?
Your gate and door when that person has left. So with Mary, Natty Lotz, when the police came, obviously, cornered off the house, secured everything, because she was on her own, we deduced, how would anybody know if anything was missing? How would anybody know if she had sums of money in the house and that's disappeared, jewelry or anything else of value that is missing? And again, if you have information, put it in the comments. But this is what we deduce. So because she's running a business and she's at home, every day she's getting money from customers, how do we know if anything's missing? So
Because the house would have been ramshacked, ma'am. The house would have been torn to pieces. Okay? There would have been evidence. If there was no evidence of somebody going through her things, ma'am, nobody went through her things, ma'am. Nobody.
this is what we put out there in terms of what we know for Natty Lotz. And again, as I said in the beginning of the video, people shut down because of the damage that false information has done. And certain YouTubers have dragged people through the mud. Everyone who dies is dragged through the mud. So information is shut down. And we don't believe information should be shut down. And sources come to us now and are giving.
I don't know who is dragging these ladies through the mud, because on my channel I've talked, and I'm the only one who's talked about every last one of them before it was a hype, a trend. Before it was trending, I was talking about them. So I'm not sure who's dragging them through the mud. Again, another smear. This is a smear campaign. This is a lie, people. These are all lies sprinkled with a little truth.
Information. We've been trying to encourage information to be given because, as we said before, sharing of information is going to protect people rather than keeping information back. But sharing of false and fake information and using information to attack and bully and ridicule and drag people through the mud is even more dangerous, and it's going to shut people down.
False and fake information, says the lady who's been on here 43 minutes and has not shown one receipt. Everything I say, I back it up. This is her opinion. This is what she thinks and what she feels about what happened to Mary. Mary, this is all a lie.
Which is what we've seen has happened in the Gambia. So we're here. We don't want to be ridiculed. We don't want to be dragged through the mud. We don't want falsities to be taken out of context, out of what we're saying, but we're sharing with you so that you understand what is going on. And we're sharing with you because we do not believe there should be a wall of silence with the men and the women here in the Gambia. It shouldn't be, that shouldn't be the issue. He said, bring the police and you can, people can get in the flat. So I fed that back to the team in her area, that you can get in the flat, we need to bring the police. So our police officer guys contacted the police near her to get access to the flat. Now, the landlord also said to me that his wife had seen a boy go into Shekina's house on the Wednesday with her keys. So I said to her, was Shekina with him? He said, no, but he had her keys. So I said, who is this boy? And he said, somebody that was around, not my kind of person. So when he said that, I knew then that he wasn't Gambian. So I said, oh, he's not Gambian then. And he said, no, he's Nigerian or from Sierra Leone or one of these countries. So I said to him, who was he? Are you sure it wasn't her partner or ex-partner? He said, no, I don't know who he was. But he said, I've seen him before, so I know he's around Shekina. So I said, well, when was the last time you saw him? And he said, about a week ago, I think he said, Shekina's car had blocked me in, and I went to Shekina's house and I said, I need to move my car. The boy came out with the car keys, moved the car, and went back in the house. So I know he's somebody that she knows. So straight away, we knew that this boy, this gentleman, had Shekina's keys, but Shekina was not seen. So the search continued for Shekina. And on the Friday, when we was getting the police to go into Shekina's apartment, I got a call from the land saying, we don't need access to the apartment. We're waiting for the police from Banjul to come. We found Shekina. And for them at the land to say that they found Shekina. And just before this, her business partner came back to me and he said he's not with Shekina. He doesn't know where she is. He's not aware that she's travelled, and if she had, she would have told him. And he's also looking for her. So when we got the call, that the police didn't need to come, they found Shakina and they're waiting for the police in Banjul. I knew then that Shakina was deceased. And from getting information then about what had happened, I'm not going to talk too much on it because obviously there's a trial that's going to start.
She ain't got nothing to talk about
But
on it. That's why she ain't talking about it.
It's come out now. The police have done a police, they've done a statement to say that this young lad that has known Shakina for 4 years and been around Shakina for 4 years has admitted or said that he has done this. Or he produced money, he produced the weapon, a hammer, and other items, laptops, phones, other items, that handbag that belonged to Shakina.
But he didn't produce anything that belonged to Matu. So I'm confused. I'm so confused.
Now, the investigation is still ongoing. This young lad has changed his story so many times. But Shakina had known him for a long time. Other diasporans has known this guy and knows of this guy. And it's really sad because we don't know what the motive. Man on his own? Was he with others? What is the women in the Gambia are not feeling safe right now. But with those support systems, there should be one. Everybody should not be involved, or everybody shouldn't be part of Sisters International, because some people might not like the way we do things. Some people might not like me or like Janet.
Again, she's promoting her business.
Comment. What do you think? What do you think is going on in the Gambia? What do you think about the information that I shared? As I said before, bells and whistles. Find your tribe.
All right, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. This was not one piece of fact in here. Not one piece of fact. Not one piece of fact. All right, let's go get these comments. She's coming across as, yeah, to me, the videos, it was all about her. It was all about her, and it was all about her group. It wasn't about them. She is a narcissist. She took that as an opportunity to promote her little sorry business. That's so sad. That's just so sad to me. Actress, yeah, she's bad, and she's bad at it. Yeah, she's an actress, and she's bad at it, honey. You ain't never lied. At least yeah, because that's what it looked like. A pack of Marlboro Lights. This lady came to the Gambia on a yellow school bus. She had to. If she think we gonna believe that, she was in the bed, but there was no blood anywhere. And the friend who found her said she was half like she was getting up out of the bed or getting in the bed, and she had her clothes on. What? But then y'all gonna say the little Sierra Leone. Come on, people. No, Matu's family did not mention any of this. And I talked to the daughter, and I talked to the sister, and the mom was in the background. And none of them ever mentioned this to me. None of them. None. And they were all over this. That family is torn apart. So I cannot believe Sisters International would make up that story to just put something else in their head like that. No, they didn't mention any of that. That's how you know it didn't happen. Kiki, don't let that one. Yeah, it just upsets me how, they don't take this all these women passing away is about money. They can't let their passing away impact their bottom line. That's why they don't talk about it. That's why they don't do anything to raise awareness to it. That's where they're trying to play all this down and make it seem like this little 20-year-old did all this damage. And I'm starting to even doubt that this little boy did this to Shakina. Because if he had all these customers who were foreign customers, then he had money. He didn't need to rob her. Why did he need to rob her if he had a good job making money? And if you catering to foreigners, you're making money. Yes, she was found on the ground, and the picture she showed on the lady messing with her in the same day that worked. Well, we didn't see a picture. We just watched it. We didn't see no picture of her on the ground. And she didn't say that. She didn't show no pictures. So we didn't see none of that. And she found halfway on the bed. First she said in the bed, then she said halfway on the bed. This is just sad. This is just sad to me. And it's just really sad. It's just really sad that all that matters to these people is their money. They don't care what happened to you once you get there. Matu had been gone over a month. Why is she just now? Just thank you, thank you. Why exactly? Because she didn't care. She could care less. Yeah, she was annoying. She could care less. Mm. Ah, I am copying is what I meant by yeah, yeah. That's what she was doing. Please slow down. This. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I had to speed it up to get it off of there. Notice she is quoting. And did you notice she had to tell us that she was a white woman? Why did she need to tell us that? Because I'm sitting here thinking, well, what difference does it make? What color she is? Why did you have to tell us that? That let me know she got a problem. She got some kind of inferiority complex about her complexion, her skin, who she is. All the back to Africa merchants are panicking because their money is drying up. West and East, they are all mad. She is quite animated. Yeah, it is drying up because people are getting hurt. This is going on everywhere, y'all. You can't encourage to come and live, but you find nothing good about Gambia. You're already excluding yourself by saying what you're offering to sell is better. I didn't understand that, Sky. Say that again, Sky, okay? The thing that bothers me about this whole situation is how thank you. That's what angers me, how insensitive these people in the Gambia are about these deaths. And they're so insensitive. And that's it. That's what makes me angry. It's how insensitive you are. It's business as usual to these women. It is. Bad, blacks, it, all of them. It's just business as usual. Let's get back to getting people to come here. Let's have the memorial service. They're gone. Let's keep it moving. What the hell is she talking about? Waste of time. Yeah. That's why I said it was nothing. I knew it wasn't because she never talks about anything and she never has any facts. You make a very valid, relevant point. She's encouraging people to come live there, but she's practicing not. No, she doesn't practice what she preached. She's not even considered. And no, she's not. She lives in the UK. I just looked up her license. She just got back, actually. Okay, her business is registered in the UK. She's a grift. Yeah, she's a grifter. That's exactly what she is, and she comes there to grift. Um, she got caught in her lies. Yeah, she got caught in her lies because she didn't the lies. And this we put it together, and this is what we did when we put it together. What girl? Sit down. Y'all put that together. She couldn't be talking about Gambia. Y'all put that together. Well, guess what? That don't even make sense. Y'all can't even connect the dots. Whatever she is selling, honey, I know nobody should be buying that. I had to check. I thought this video would be about. I did too, but it wasn't. It was about her business. It was about her life, and she threw a little bit in there about them. They are really, yeah, they're wolves in sheep clothing. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are horrible people. You can't be united and have problems with black women. They are horrible liars. Okay, they are horrible people. She's still trying to sell her dream life lie and promote to her, yes, and promote it to her minions in that group. Yep, because they all want to come. They all believe in the lies that she's telling them. They all believe in the lies. Why don't they bring their children with them to the Gambia instead of dancing with boy toys on the beach? Because the kids don't want to come, honey. They ain't trying to bring their kids. They want to go have fun. They want to go enjoy Africa. The Gambia is becoming a dumping ground for sad, lonely black women. Why is she wearing? Thank you. Why, I thought the same thing. I was sitting here thinking, why does she got that on? Why is a 50-year-old woman wearing that on YouTube? Why are you walking like that? Walking around with that on? in the Gambia in a conservative Muslim country. See, that's how you get lost in the sauce. Look, she ain't even dressing right. She don't even dress right. But she's giving you advice and she ain't even following the dress code. She's not even following the customs and the norms of that country. But she wants you to come there and do the same thing she did. She was encouraging Veronica. She was encouraging Veronica. That's all. Yeah, she's so annoying. Never, never, never tell Veronica to stop doing what you're doing. It's going to get you messed up. Never, never tell Anja stop doing what you're doing. This woman talks about saying, without saying, she talks, right, without saying anything. What the H is she talking about? She can't. No, no, she can't. No, she can't. That's so sad. And it don't even make sense. She sees herself as she does, as some sort of leader. Is that why she and blacks, exactly. She wants to be a leader too. She wanted to replace Miss Juliet also. They all want to be Miss Juliet. They all want to be Miss Juliet. That's their goal. That's their goal, to replace Miss Juliet and be her. She's either, yeah, she's a, no, she's a liar. She's a not smart liar because she can't connect. She didn't sit down and think that, oh, this lie don't even make sense. How can I say she was found in the bed and then say that she was had blood marks on the back of her neck? That should be blood all over the floor. Then how she get in the bed? How come there's not blood everywhere? How come everybody didn't know that was a crime scene instantly? Why did her husband write on the death certificate twice? No, it's more than that. It's like 3 times. Why did he do that? That she had a heart attack. She should speak with the facts and not just opening her mouth, which would, and that, no, she, and you see, there was no facts. She was telling you what somebody else told her. That's hearsay. She told you a bunch of hearsay. Not one fact did she give you. It wasn't a written statement from the lady. It was hearsay. All for £1,000, which coincidentally is the approximate amount paid to board a boat. Oh, to go the back way to Europe. Saw it on a documentary recently after this tragedy. Hmm, that's interesting. That's interesting. But how did he know Shakina had $1,000 in her house? That's another question. I agree with what you're saying. That's what I want to know. How did he know Shakina had $1,000 in her house? How did he know that? The lady with the shop worker was the same lady that said she was being stalked. Yeah, that's her. That's the one who assaulted her shop worker, her Gambia employee. And then it just all went downhill after that. That's not what Sisters International said. Not good when you slander other sisters. Talk to them privately, not taking sides. Well, ain't nobody slandering her, man. We just looked at the video. We saw what she said. What are you talking about? We just saw what she said, and she didn't say what she said she was going to say. She talked about herself. And nobody slanders anybody on this channel, honey. We speak from facts. I put videos are facts. We pulled up that video and we commented on facts, ma'am. And she ain't nobody's sister. You obviously are new to this channel because Sisters International is not a sister to anyone. This is sad. Yeah, the travesty of these women, and all they care about is their money. All they care about is their money. I suggest everyone go. Okay, we listened to the video after that. It brought a lot of clarity that was just another bunch of lies, another attempt at a smear campaign. What's the motive? Or it's just, yes, exactly. It wasn't even no motive. And where was all the blood? Where was that? There should have been blood everywhere. Where was that? No blood on the ground. Okay, so we read, we heard, we said all that. Okay, all right. Let's get these real quick. When in Rome, do like the Romans. You can't change other people. No, you cannot. You cannot. If you want to change them, best thing you should do is leave. And sisters, it's Sisters International business on that matches Western woman. I think so. I think they hook them up because you see they be all of them be with the same type of men, the bumpsters. It's said even as expats, no, there's no honor among thieves. The main reason I want nothing to do with other so-called repats. No, there's no honor among thieves, and we see that. 6 ladies were found in Gambia. It's a video of one of them ladies. Woman was found, Natty like she was found on the ground. Okay. Well, guess what? On my channel, there's actually series about each one of those women. I never believed he did it. It don't work. Yes. See, that people have been saying that, and now the more and more I look at it, the more and more I don't think he did it. Okay, bye places and spaces. I see you later. The more and more I don't think he did it. How devious is Sisters International? They are now attempting to, yeah, smear. Yes, that's what they do. Smear you and fringing concerning for women. What is that? Fidgeting concern for women because they expose the danger first. Because you expose the danger first. Yes, that's what they do, though. Yeah, this is a clear smear campaign. They all gonna do this now. Yeah. Okay, so we got all of them. All right, so that's what I think about her. She's a liar. She's been a liar. That's just what she do.